Welcome to The Explainer. If you've ever felt like your daily workflow is more about surviving endless administrative hurdles than, actually getting strategic work done, well, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're unpacking a masterclass on transforming how you work forever by building your very own AI agent factory. Let's get right into it.
I want you to genuinely think about your current week for a second. Seriously, calculate the hours you spend on endless busy work in your head. Copying and pasting data, categorizing emails, scheduling and rescheduling meetings, compiling those routine reports that, let's be honest, nobody actually reads. How much of your week is just completely lost to these repetitive tasks?
If you're like most knowledge workers, that number is absolutely staggering. The data shows that these routine tasks consume up to 20 to 30% of a typical worker's time. That is a massive chunk of your week completely drained by tasks that require literally zero strategic focus. It's frustrating, it leads to burnout, and frankly, it's a massive bottleneck for your true potential.
But what if we completely shift that paradigm? Think about the number 168. That is a full calendar week. Imagine having a tireless digital worker who operates 168 hours a week, every single week, without ever taking a coffee break, needing a sick day, or requiring a triple shot espresso to survive at Tuesday afternoon. The potential for reclaiming your own time to focus on what actually matters is simply massive.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to welcome the agent era, break down the anatomy of an AI agent, explore the agent factory framework, look at real-world autonomous impact, and finally, lay out your exact 90-day roadmap.
Welcome to the agent era. We're officially moving away from mere tool-assisted work into a completely new era of truly autonomous work.
So what exactly is an AI agent? Let's demystify the jargon right away. An AI agent isn't just a rigid piece of code. It's autonomous software that perceives, reasons, and acts to solve problems. It's software that can actually understand the context of an email, figure out what needs to be done, and plan the steps to execute it entirely on its own.
And this brings us to a really crucial concept, the digital-fte, or digital full-time equivalent. Think of this as an AI agent operating 168 hours a week with absolutely zero fatigue. A digital FTE can effortlessly handle 4 times the volume of a human worker. It's essentially adding a superhuman team member to your roster who literally works around the clock. To really grasp how revolutionary this is, we have to contrast it with what we already know. Traditional automation relies on rigid, explicit rules. You know the drill. The second a scenario changes or there's a typo in a form, the whole system breaks, requiring manual human intervention. AI agents, however, learn patterns. Because they use natural language understanding, they adapt to variations, handle exceptions autonomously, and continuously learn and self-improve over time. Section 2. Anatomy of an AI agent. Let's transition into the actual mechanics of how these digital workers process information. Here's a logical 4-step cognitive process the AI goes through, very much like a human would. First is perception. The agent receives an input, like reading an incoming customer email or an API call. Second is reasoning. It uses language models to understand the context of that input and plans a logical response. Third is action. It actually executes the task, like sending the reply or updating a database. And fourth is learning. It improves from human feedback and successful patterns for the next time it faces a similar task. Section 3. The Agent Factory Framework. Now that we understand how an agent thinks, we need a methodology for turning your specific domain expertise into deployable digital products. This framework operates in 3 distinct phases. Phase 1 is manufacture, where you turn your unique expertise into agent logic using AI coding tools. Phase 2 is package, which means bundling that code into a scalable, secure, production-ready system with proper error handling. And Phase 3 is monetize, where you generate actual revenue through subscriptions or secure a massive return on investment for your company. Your personal knowledge in sales, legal, or finance literally becomes an autonomous agent that never quits. And the technical side of this is surprisingly approachable. You can easily give your agent a brain by storing its memory in a simple claude.md file. This is just a standard markdown file where you document your domain knowledge, like company terminology, historical context from past successes, custom instructions for tone and format, and tool access, which tells the agent which CRMs or inboxes it's allowed to touch. You're basically writing an onboarding manual for your new digital employee. Section 4. Real-world autonomous impact. Let's pivot from the theory to the hard proof of how agents are radically transforming real businesses right now. Let's look at the undeniable difference in return on investment.
AI agents deliver a baseline output 4 times higher than traditional automation. They operate 168 hours a week, can be set up in mere days rather than weeks, and require minimal maintenance because they resolve exceptions entirely autonomously. It's maximum scale at a fraction of the cost.
Let's take customer support as a prime example. The drop in response times is just staggering. Before implementing an AI agent, the average response time for a team was 240 minutes. That's 4 solid hours. After the agent, it plummeted to just 2 minutes. Not only that, but the autonomous resolution rate jumped from 0 to 70%, freeing up the human team to handle only the most complex, nuanced cases. And this revolution is happening across every single department. No team is left behind here. In sales, agents are driving 3 times the pipeline coverage by conducting personalized prospect research and outreach at an incredible scale. In finance, tasks like expense processing are dropping from 2 full weeks down to just 2 hours. Reconciliation accuracy is jumping to 99.8% with near zero error rates and completely perfect audit trails. Section 5. Your 90-day roadmap. Theory is great, but we want to empower you with the exact step-by-step blueprint to build your own agent starting today.
Let's see how this implementation builds linearly across a standard business quarter. Phase 1 is your foundation in weeks 1 and 2. This is where you identify your top repetitive task and prototype it. Phase 2 is the pilot in weeks 3 through 6, where you iterate based on feedback and deploy to a fraction of your volume. And Phase 3 is optimize from weeks 7 to 12, where you scale that agent to handle 100% of the volume and start exploring massive monetization and cost-saving opportunities.
So the crucial point here is that you don't need to wait to get started. Here are your actionable steps to take today, this exact week. First, identify your single most costly repetitive task. Second, just document the process with real step-by-step examples of how you do it right now. Third, calculate the massive ROI opportunity by multiplying the hours saved by your costs. And fourth, get your team's buy-in by showing them the strategic, high-value time they are finally going to reclaim. By automating these routine tasks, you're completely freeing your team for strategic work, reducing errors, and reclaiming 20 to 40 hours of weekly productivity per person. Your 16 8-hour digital workforce is literally waiting for its instructions. You have the mindset, you have the methodology. The only question left is, what will you build first?